changing, falling, fading, calling. I've already said too much, staying forever by your touch, hating you for hurting me. God, this life is far from free, faking visions in my sleep. The only thing that I can keep, wanting you to fade away, take away these shades of grey.
Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, today I'm checking out the LightForce Enforcer 140mm LED spotlight. Now this spotlight is brand new in regards to technology, being LED in a spotlight. I don't know if there's any others out there. Personally, I haven't used them, so I'm pretty excited to have a look at this newly integrated technology. So the spotlight here is with everything that comes with it in the box, so I'll just run through a few of the things. So we've got the actual wall adapter or charger. You've got the different adapters for the charger, so you've got, you know, your European, UK, US adapters, so no matter where you are in the world you can pretty much charge the spotlight. Now you've got, this is pretty much the manual, just comes on two A4 pages here, but the important thing to have a look at here, and we'll run through this in just a moment, you've got the different diagram for the voltage and the charging status indicator, because there are actual 3 LED lights built into the bottom of the spotlight here which indicate where it's at. Also got a nice LightForce sticker there, so you could throw that on your toolbox or on your ute, whatever. Now the spotlight itself, as you can see, it's 140mm, okay, so it's not as big as the 170mm Enforcers, so a little bit more compact, but it's still made from the typical hard polymer that LightForce seem to make all the spotlights I've seen anyway from. So lightweight, 450 grams or just under 16 ounces, so really handy just to cart around in the field with you. It's also weatherproof, so there's not going to be any dust or rain getting into the actual light. Now it's got the new Fresnel reflector for maximum light output, so LightForce are suggesting that it'll go out to 376 meters or 411 yards. So I mean, look, that's a fair amount of reach really with the light. The adjustable lens, you can just widen it and put it to a tight beam just simply by moving clockwise or anti-clockwise on the actual lens there. Pretty straightforward. That's how all the spotlights I've had from them work. Now the Kelvin rating on this is 4000, okay, so that's the color temperature. If you guys aren't really sure about the Kelvin rating, take a look at one of the actual reviews I did on the CBSL 240 HID spotlight, the updated version I did, because I actually compared that particular spotlight but rated to different Kelvin color temperature ratings. So I had 4000, I had a few different ones in there from memory. I can't remember all the ones exactly offhand, but take a look, because basically what I showed there was if you go right up in your Kelvin rating, like say you're up at like 6000 or something like that, the light actually becomes too blinding. Like it's very hard for you to make out a lot of detail on what you're actually looking at. So 4000 Kelvin color temperature rating is very good. Now the LED in it is a very high density, okay, and I can assure you from turning this on, it is extremely bright when you look at it, especially when you have it down to a narrow beam. Greatest thing about this is it's a 4-hour runtime, okay, so it's got a little battery in the base here, and you can walk around completely portable, no cords, nothing like that, for 4 hours. It also has an hour in reserve mode as well, okay? So, you're going to get a good 4 hours, 4.5 hours out of the spotlight. Now, if you go ahead and you want to make it run longer, well, if you remember on one of the other spotlight reviews I did, the Enforcer portable battery pack, I mean, it clips straight on the bottom. Easy as that. Straight on there, and you can plug it into the back. So what's the purpose of this? Well, if you add this, you've got up to 18.5 hours of runtime. I mean, that is just sensational, isn't it? So finally, we've got a spotlight where you can actually get out in the field and not just be limited to, you know, half an hour of use. You've got something that you can use all night long. When you charge the Spotlight up, it's a maximum charge time of 2.5 hours. So, you know, it's not going to be an overnight charge. You just need 2.5 hours, and that's the maximum charge time. I found a lot of the time after I've been using this out in the field, I've come back, I've put it on charge, and, you know, within half an hour, it's back up to its full potential. Now, I'll just show you with the actual adapter. I'll just plug it in here to some power I've got, and I'll show you how the LED lights work at the bottom, the indicators. So all we need to do is just at the back of the Spotlight, just push it in there. You can screw it on to keep it tight, and you'll see the LED indicators there. Okay, so we've got 3 indicators at the bottom. So if we have a look, you can see the last one, which is green, and it's flashing. So all we need to do is just go back to our manual here and go under the charging status. Okay, so if it's flashing green, it means that we're at 60% capacity. Okay, so it's got a little bit to fill up. But anyhow, that's obviously a really good idea. You know, you can see how far off the Spotlight is from charging to maximum capacity. Now, the 3-year warranty on this Spotlight, and like all LightForce Spotlights, this is the thing I love. Made in Australia. I mean, you know, it just gives you a sense of pride to see a company still making great products for us here in Australia. The price of it though, obviously because it is Australian made, $275 recommended retail price, okay? But as I say, it's a 3-year warranty, okay? That excludes the internal battery, but on the housing and everything you see, it's a 3-year warranty. All right, guys, well, look, let's stop talking about it. It's a new technology, so let's see how this light performs out on the farm. Okay, guys, so we'll start off with just some bushes in the bottom of the trees about 50 metres away from me here. So as you can see, like it's like a bit of a bluish green tinge on the outer side of the actual bright circle. So I'm not sure if that's going to come up on the camera or not, but for me, like, I mean, look, it'd be ideal for looking for, you know, rabbits and so forth, you know, within that sort of area. It's definitely not as bright as like the 170 mil Enforcer, but it's still pretty good considering we've got, you know, portability and you know, long life with the actual battery as compared to the more traditional like 170 mil Enforcers. So now we're looking at the tree line 100 metres away, guys. Now, for me, like just with my naked eye, like to me this would probably be the limit in real use that I would actually use a Spotlight at, because if you're actually looking and searching for game at that distance, I'm finding I am really sort of trying to strain my eyes a little bit just to focus on the actual branches and stuff at that distance. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still works, but it's nothing like the actual Enforcer 170. Now I know they're 2 different Spotlights, but what we're going to do here now is just beside it, I'm actually got the 170 Enforcer at that same distance, so you can definitely see the difference in the power output and the brightness. So I've just got the LED Spotlight on just at my feet here, guys, so you can actually see what it looks like. And as you can see, like the center of that beam, there is that sort of greeny purple blue tinge around it. So it is extremely bright, there's no 2 ways about it, but it's sort of like more of a focused bright beam as opposed to, you know, when we look at the 170 mil Enforcers that really throw out a wider beam. Now obviously, I mean, the lens is a little bit different with the 140 as opposed to the 170, a little bit smaller, still really good, but definitely doesn't throw out the same amount of light that you do have with the halogen or the HID Enforcer series. Alright guys, I'll just finish up with my final thoughts on the 140 LED Enforcer. Now I've got the 170 halogen Enforcer Spotlight here as well, because I want to make a couple of comparisons, and I don't want to be unfair to the 140 LED, but there's a few things that I'd like to see on future improvements with the LED Enforcer. The one thing that I don't like about it is when you press the button, okay, and you've got your battery charge indicator at the bottom there. I mean, look, that is a great idea, but for me, on the old 170 Enforcer, where you had the LEDs at the bottom, I use them all the time when I'm walking around out in the field, just to give you that little bit of low light and not give away your position when you're walking around. So I'd really like to see that return on any sort of future advancements on the LED Enforcer. The other thing is too, I mean, look, okay, the brightness on this is going to be a little bit less, because obviously it's a 140mm diameter lens as opposed to the 170mm on the 170mm Enforcer. So what I'd like to see is perhaps, and I know it'll come with technology, is more of a warm white LED light. Like you see those sort of LEDs that you can get for your home nowadays that kind of mimic that more warm actual light. I'd like to see this with this, because what I'm finding is when I'm going and I'm scanning around with this, fantastic for up to 100 yards, but anything over that I am really struggling to make out the detail of the objects I'm looking for. But honestly, if you're looking at something under that and you wanted something with some great power, and it's going to last in the field, I mean 4.5 hours runtime is just fantastic from something just so lightweight and handy. So it does have a lot of advantages, but there's a couple of things that I'd like to sort of see it improve on with future models. Anyhow guys, that's my honest thoughts on it, so I hope you enjoyed the review. So till next time, we'll catch you then.